Okay, we're back, and this is class 2 for examples of industrial. And this time, we will discuss Honeywell 7795 operation and installation. So, we'd like to get familiar with 779A. It's one of the common ones. I posted a YouTube about this control and how we can change the timing and some of the most common problems. Sequence of operation always going to be system pre-check, uh, pre-purge, pilot flame, main flame, normal operation, then post-purge. Wiring, how does it get wired? What is the sequence of operation again for that boiler? And some major troubleshooting. Okay, so this is the control. If you notice, it's a big box. It's an old model. The new ones come with a screen that's placed on the top that will tell you what's happening. So probably you'll get a new model of that with a screen in here that tells you what step is going on and what is also the error. There's only one reset button in here, so it's kind of really difficult to know what's happening and what is the stage and how is it. So flame detection system that goes with that boiler. So these are the two submodels, and one of them uses ultraviolet, the other one uses rectification system. And this is the color from the inside. So you open up the casing and you'll find those two uh, controls and what fuel does it go with. Again, make sure you match those detection system. That could be one of the problems. And again, if we're testing those in the lab, we need to have actual flame. Regular light is not going to prove flame for us, because again, some of those flame detection systems that require actual flame with ions. These are the electrical ratings for all those connections that goes inside the terminal. Again, this is the voltage. VAC is voltage AC, plus or minus plus 10 volts or minus 15%. And this is the control frequency rating that is required. And this is how much power does it consume. Some of them consume more or less, and the reason they put that in here so you can go and check and see why, if it's consuming the right amount of power or not. So again, this is VA. VA is watt, so voltage times amperage, and here are the rating for each one of those terminals. So if you connect and try to measure the amperage coming through, you should be able to see the right number. Otherwise, something is wrong with either of these components. Operating conditions, again, we said most of those work on ambient temperatures. So again, from minus 40 to 135, which is a really large range. However, they're not to be placed outside, but the temperature inside the plant can get really high. 135 is completely too much, but the equipment can get hot itself because it's very close to the boiler. So these are the operating temperature, and we should be within limits. I highly doubt it will go below minus 40 or 135, but again, this is our limits. Flame response time is 3 seconds, and again, that could be changed by changing the program inside and sending out the cartridge. So it's not something we can do ourselves. It had to be sent out. Where do you find the approval? It's in the manual. This is going to be the UL, Underwriter Laboratories, and they issue that approval for that control. And again, those controls still in the market and still being used in some commercial boilers. So this is what we find when we go take out the box inside. Again, this is my reset button that translates to this button over here. The base is always connected, and those terminals are connected to the boiler through the base, because we would like to minimize the plugging and unplugging of the wires. We want to make sure we have one solid wire and just keep it as is. These are the pre-purge timer that could be changed. So you take out this timer and replace it with something else. You can order the timing you want for these little controls. Over here there are some set of wires that you can cut and to change the control, or you can change the entire cartridge by taking it out and putting a new one. And you can see that most of those components are protected and controlled against rust or dust or any outside elements. And you see the box completely enclosed, so you don't have any outside material coming inside the control. We've seen this before. This is the sequence of operation. What do you expect to come in and what wire should come in? So if you look at the blower motor, usually come from terminal 8 and it should be on the entire time. It should go on for the entire run. Seconds, and again, limits and L1 should be on the entire time, and safety check. So when we just turn it on, we should see those three come on right away. If not, something is wrong. Second comes the airflow switch, terminal 8 and 3, they should be on. Then after that, the ignition will come and the pilot will come on. The pilot will stay a little bit longer than the ignition until the main fuel valve is activated. Then it will continue. So at the end, when we have the normal step 5 or 4, that is the continuous run, you will have number 8 activated, number 6 is activated, L1 and 16, 8, and the flame proving system should be always there to monitor the operation. So that's a very nice, good chart to tell you which terminal should be connected and on and at what. So this is the connection, and these are the terminals. And again, these terminals are connected directly into the board and the base. And this control can be used with gas and can be used with oil, but it has different connection for oil and gas. So let's look at the number 5 is going to be the power flame. This one is not used. Main fuel, ignition, and the flame detection is FG as usual. It's not FF anymore. It's a flame detection system. And again, that goes with the amplifier. If we change the amplifier, if you want to change the flame detection system, you have to change the amplifier. The motor burners goes to terminal 8, and 8 also goes at the same time to line voltage airflow switch to make sure that there's flow before we turn on the burner motor. Otherwise, we're going to build up a lot of pressure in there. So it should go, those two are going in parallel. Line voltage alarm, if anything goes in this wrong with this system, this should be sending you an alarm. And everything, again, if you have noticed, everything goes to L2. So even though it seems very upscale and complicated, it's not that much involved than a primary castle for residential. Different sequence of operation, this time with interrupt, different kind of wiring for interrupted power. That's when you don't want the power to be on the whole time. You can connect it with this wiring. Inside the controller, we did look at that already, so you can identify the component. Service, they only want somebody certified to work on those controls. They're very expensive and they're very involved. We're not supposed to be taking them apart. Just you have to know how does it operate and what is the sequence of operation. There is a specific restoration kit that can be used to clean the contacts and change some of the components inside. So you can order those restoration kits. Never use oil in any part of our 7795. So no WD-40, no oil, no rust solution. Use approved equipment because all these things are built with high grade and they're very sensitive to any other foreign material. Do not push the relay manually. So again, that's why they're covered and you're supposed to be touching them. And the mechanical linkage is very, very sensitive. Do not clean contacts for the contactors unless absolutely necessary. Those contacts are very sensitive. And again, remember how they look like. Small contact. Do not try to clean them. If you have to, probably should call first, and they have a special spray for that. Yeah, they have their own contact cleaner. Avoid bending the contacts. Do not use abrasive material, and do not use hard paper.